Thank you for joining us this evening. This is about 21 hours. Actually, it's 21:02 Chwempala time here in Calgary, Alberta, where it is actually a very wet and rainy day. It's about 13:02. And today is a holiday over here, not Africa Freedom Day, but a different holiday. It's known as Family Day. And I'm here with Mr. Norman Chipakupaku. Good afternoon, good evening, Mr. Chipakupaku.
Good evening, Munsha. Good evening, Chwempala, and good evening, Zambia. And greetings from Bonnie, Scotland. This is 20:03 in Scotland. Very, very cold day. And it's been a very cold weekend. But otherwise, how are you doing, Munsha, in Canada?
Oh, Canada is good. It's wet and rainy, as I said. I went on a run earlier during the day, so it was a very wonderful rainy rainy run, 10 kilometers, and here we are. Now we're going to let as many people as possible share this broadcast because we do have a very special guest who is joining us today. And the whole reason is because we want to discuss, albeit very briefly, about his experiences, and that's Mr. Mubita Nawa. And that is what this broadcast is all about. And so we're going to let as many people share. And then at 21:30 Chwempala time, we're going to transition into a different program where we'll be speaking with Mr. Lawrence Musunte, Pastor Lawrence Musunte, and we are going to be tackling the issues of Christianity, his story, and the church and politics and everything else. Otherwise, today we are very excited that you could join us. Okay, Mr. Chipakupaku, why are we here today?
First of all, Munsha, could I say on behalf of our viewers, our condolences on the bereavement in your family. We got the news about our Auntie Mangala. Please convey our condolences to the family, especially your wife. Tonight we are here to try and hear from the horse's mouth. Mubita Nawa, who is the presidential special projects assistant to HH, to tell us exactly what went wrong, what happened, why was he detained, and what really transpired during the 14 days when he was detained. And I think the second part of the second 15 minutes, we'll try and find out from him what the political situation is in Zambia. I mean, our viewers know that I'm UPND, so I think it'll be fair for me to handle the detention part. But if you also want to come in with questions, you can come in, Musha. Then you handle the political side because you are NDC. We know that. So you are asking hard questions.
Adam, what?
We know that you defected. So I didn't realize that. I will handle the detention. Why was he detained?
Right.
And I think you can handle the other questions because it would be unfair for me to ask now political issues because I am UPND. So right. You are still, I think you're still in NDC, am I right?
Yes. You see, the thing with membership in a political party is that the reason why I try to say this is to show our viewers how fluid membership in political parties truly is. Just today, we understand that someone has defected from your party to the ruling party, and so this is very funny. It's comedic, and so I try to poke fun at the whole political party enterprise. And so I'm NDC, but so am I PF because in 2001, Michael Sata made all of us to become members of the Patriotic Front, except you because you were in Scotland. But for all of us who were in Zambia, Michael Sata told us that we are all members of PF. So from MMD, we became members of PF. Now we are NDC. And then during a broadcast sometimes, because Mulankalifia Vachipakupaku, I sometimes defect. Right here. Wow. On this broadcast. So at the moment, I'm not really sure. But one party that I can never be part of at the moment is the Patriotic Front, because of the way they have mismanaged the country, mismanaged the economy, and mismanaged common sense, right? So on that one, we are very clear. But as for which party, it can be NDC. I can defect in one broadcast from NDC to Heritage Party or MMD or DP,
Well,
whichever it is.
well, Munsha, you are right that our viewers should know that Shamin Msonda has this afternoon defected to PF. That was the lady who was supposed to be the UPND candidate in Chilanga, but she was not. Well, we adopted her, and then the adoption was withdrawn. I think there's some information about her, withdrew the adoption, and that made her really, really freak, and she's gone to PF. That's how funny Zambian politics is at the moment. I mean, a person like me, I'm principled. I would never defect to any party. Because I support a principle. I don't support the people. I support a principle. So it's just sad that a lady who was supposed to be a candidate for Chilanga, UPND candidate, all of a sudden, because she's been told no, and she decided to defect. But people should remember that the same person who made UPND lose the seat last time when there was a by-election.
Right.
So I think it's up to the people of Chilanga to judge that lady, and but she's got the right to defect and join any party of our choice, because that's what the Constitution gives us. That's what multi-party democracy is all about.
Right. But how does it happen that people just decide to say they're in UPND and then overnight they become PF just like that? And so she'll even wave Denge and begin campaigning very, very forcefully for Edgar Lungu. Why isn't this comedy?
Well, my take is that there's a lot of poverty and a lot of money circulating around. Munsha, if somebody came out and said, I'm giving you, I mean, average Zambian, I'm giving you 100,000 kwacha or 200,000 kwacha, people are defecting because of that, because of the economic situation.
Right.
But we hear there is more money being given to people,
right,
especially high-profile people,
right,
just to show that PF is still popular, so they can buy anybody for any amount. I mean, there's a story which was going on that somebody was promised $1 million,
right,
to defect, but he said no. So these things are happening. People, it's believed that people are carrying dollars in their suitcases in their cars.
Wow. $1 million is like a lot of money anywhere in the world. More so in Zambia. In Scotland, it's a lot of money. So is it here. And so it's quite interesting to see how defections are working at the moment. So we do have Mr. Mubita Nawa in. Let's just bring him on. Mr. Mubita Nawa, good evening.
Good evening, Brother Elias, Uncle. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Bona Washangwe, Muzjwani.
Good evening, Canada. Good evening, UK. Good evening, world. Good evening, everybody. It's good to be here with you.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you. And we thought we should bring you on tonight. And really, we want to hear from the horse's mouth. And I hope Munsha will allow me to start by asking you how you are feeling. How are you getting on? How are you settling down after these 14 days, sort of what I call an illegal detention?
I'm feeling really great, and it's good that you would ask how I'm feeling, Uncle Norman. I feel really great. Sometimes when you take certain actions towards certain individuals or organizations, perhaps you have a certain objective that maybe where I'm sending this person, they'll come back malnourished or they'll come back devastated. But sometimes, you actually sending people to a space where they rediscover themselves and they tap into a greater potential and they find new energy and new joy and new peace. So I'm feeling really, really great. Of course, when I got home the other day, that's when it hit me how long I had been there. I think when I was there, it was meal after meal, minute after minute, visitor after visitor. But all in all, I feel really great, really terrific.
Fantastic. Just to let you know that a lot of people were praying for you, Muvita. A lot of people were campaigning for you, including my colleague Munsha here. He was very, very vocal to have you released, and I'm glad that it happened. And if they had not released you, I think by today there were going to be demonstrations everywhere, especially with the Zambian missions abroad. People were underrating what we were planning to do. It was going to shock them this week. So I think the first question is, why were you arrested, Mubita?
So why was I arrested? Before I answer that, may I just say special thanks to Brother Elias Musha. Man, your courage, your conviction, your persuasion, your consistency, that was simply heartwarming. So from the bottom of my heart, from my family, I want to say thank you to you, as well as to many others, thousands and millions of people that also fought and requested for justice to be served. I just want all of you to know that I'm truly grateful. In terms of why was I arrested, the story is a bit complex and it's simple. But the brief version of it is that there is a video that allegedly in that video, I insulted the head of state. And so I was charged in my charge sheet. It said defamation of the president according to the laws of Zambia. Now the ironic part is when they invited us for the interview, I was with two lawyers, one this side, and the police showed us this 7-second video. 7-second video. Literally, you can count 1, 2, 3, up to 7, and the police said you insulted. And the funny part is, in that 7-second video, I utter no insult. They edited a 2.5-hour video to 7 seconds. And even in the 7 seconds, I personally utter no insult. And so what they did is they put a clip where I laughed with somebody else, a clip where I told somebody else, meaning complete your sentence, and a clip where someone else, unfortunately, may have uttered words that were unprintables. So because of those 7 seconds, I was arrested.
Wow. Wow. Do you have the complete 2-hour video which you can share with Zambians, or is it illegal to do that?
The good thing is this transmission happened on, and of course we can't go into too many details because it would be prejudicial, as these are now legal matters. But the good thing is what transpired is this recording was live in November of 2020, on the 15th in particular. So that video is online. By God's grace, it is online. I cannot imagine what would have happened had I not had the original version. I cannot even imagine where I would be at this moment.
Wow. There were also a lot of rumors flying around, and I still remember getting a call at midnight, Mubita, that UPND president and the UPND family, including myself, had ignored you. And I felt really bad about that. Did you get that rumor, that story, that we had completely ignored you, or the President HH had ignored you, and you had no lawyers?
I never got that rumor, and I never heard a thing. I think if I had heard a thing, I would have come out through the cells and shouted and said, that's a lie or something. But no, I never heard. I heard it on my way from the police as I was being driven home. Someone called me and said, there's this rumor. So to clarify things, I was never neglected by the UPND, never. As a matter of fact, on my second day of incarceration, day 2 of incarceration, I spoke to President Hakainde Hichilema. On day 2, I spoke to President Hakainde Hichilema, and he assured me of his support, financially, whatever legally, he assured it, and not only did he assure that, it came forth. I think the confusion may have been in the emotional desperation of the people. You know, when your loved one is out there, somebody you care for is out there, you want justice now. And so maybe people were a bit overwhelmed. I can understand that. Yeah. But no, the UPND was behind this. They were supporting this. They were fighting. They were sending people. The members of parliament were coming. Leaders were coming. Of course, there's always somebody who wishes Elias Musha would come to Kabwata police cell. And that's not necessary. If Elias Musha can do his part where he is, and Konoman can do his part in Scotland, that is enough. So please bear with us. There was no such truth at all. The UPND was very supportive. Even on the day of my release, the vice president, the chairperson of the party, they all came, members of parliament, NMC. I have enjoyed tremendous support. There could be a difference of opinion in terms of performance of certain individuals in the process, but that is normal in any family and in any situation.
Yeah, I'm glad that I did calm some nerves at midnight that day. And I said, the UPND, I know, the Aka India, I know, would never let Muvita down. And thank God everybody listened and we calmed the nerves down. So I think it's over to you, Munsha. It's time for you, if I've missed something on the detention, it's over to you to ask the politics, because you know I'm UPND, so I can't ask him questions because I'll be very biased. So it's over to you because you are NDC.
Yeah. So I get confused a little bit about your name. So is Mubita the first name or is Nawa the first name?
Mubita is the first name.
And
as a
Nawa
matter of
is
fact, first, Brother Alliance, Christopher is legally the first name, but technically Mubita is the first name.
All right. Okay. Now, you posted that morning when you were actually going off to the police and you were seeing off your daughter to a boarding school, or were you seeing her off to school or to the boarding school?
To the boarding school. She was about to board a bus, a hired church bus with several other students here.
How is she doing?
She's doing well. I haven't spoken to her. We have no access to them. They have no, I hope they have no access to TV. That is Patricia. She's a 12-year PS leader who is very opinionated, enterprising, and I am praying to God she didn't hear anything. Unfortunately, my 10-year-old daughter, I've got 3 daughters, but my 10-year-old daughter told the mother that, Mom, I know you are hiding where Dad is. My friend told me at school that your father insulted the president and he's locked up. And so my children somehow got to know about it, and that just broke me.
Oh, right. Okay. Now, where are the matters at the moment? So have they charged you? Have they given you bond? What have they done?
So yes, I was charged. Would you believe that I was arrested on Monday around 12 hours? I was incarcerated around 12:30, and I never saw them until Saturday 12:30. So for 5 days, Monday through Saturday, 6 days, they left me in a cell without charging me, without warning and cautioning me, and it was very, very frustrating. My lawyer was running up and down like a headless chicken, and bless their hearts, my lawyers worked so hard. And they finally gave me a warning and caution, and they charged on Saturday, 6 days later. Now, that's where the conundrum began.
Right.
I thought, okay, now that they've given me a warning and caution and they charge on Saturday, chances are I'm now going to go appear in court on Monday and pay bail. And that's where the drama started, because on Monday, another story came. On Tuesday, another story came. To cut the long story short, by Thursday, the National Prosecution Authority had refused to take this case to court because they said in writing that there was no case and they couldn't pursue it any further. So they sent it back to the head office of the police. And now more drama ensued because the police now were in a catch-22. They can't take me to court because there is no case, and they can't go to court without NPA and DPP involvement.
Right.
They can't keep me in there because Zambia, by then, Zambia is on fire. Everybody is talking, everybody is screaming. And I could see they were facing pressure, and nobody wanted to handle this case, as in no one. Everybody kept saying, no, not me. It's bigger people, it's bigger people. So as things stand now, I came out on bond with surety.
And you came out on a Saturday?
I came out on a Saturday. I didn't even think I was coming out, Mr. Musha. I didn't think, not at all.
Yes, so then they gave you bond.
They gave me bond, and then they said, you need to get out of here because you're causing us so much drama. And they said, there's media people here, Madam Mutalena Rumango is here. Now they were panicking. And I was just like, yeah, let's chill. You had me here for 2 weeks. You can have me here another 2 hours. They said, no, we need you out of here. Look what you have brought us. I said, no. You need to know that I'm part of a bigger family. And you have kept me here all this time. You can't chase me. You were in a hurry to arrest me, and now you're in a hurry to release me. I said, take your time. I'm enjoying this moment. I mean, they were Land Cruisers. There was commotion. Cameramen were being arrested. It was drama. And I was just like, let's do this.
Right. Before you proceed, Munsha, I hear that the second day when Anthony Bwaria visited you, they arrested him. What was all that about?
Actually, it was not the second day. It was the 6th day. I believe it was the very second that I got the warn and caution. So I was not aware. I was upstairs being warned and cautioned and being charged. And apparently, Anthony took a picture of the cell. I was not in the cell. So I was not even aware that Anthony was at the police because I was upstairs. So as I am coming down 2 hours later from my warrant, they're bringing me barefoot and whatnot. I walk into the cell, literally, Uncle Norman. And here stands my colleague, Anthony Bwaria. And I'm just like, what? And he's bare feet or barefooted. I don't know the past, present participle of barefooted. And
it's okay.
He wears these bright stockings like Brother Elias used. And at that point, I just knew what had happened. And I said, Anthony. And he's just like, yeah, I'm here. I said, Anthony, no. He says, and everybody in the cell is quiet. And he tells me I was taking pictures. They had me delete the picture. And they've arrested me. I said, Anthony, we can't both be here. You know, one of us has to be out. I was very sad. Very sad. That was my second saddest moment in the cell, to see Anthony in there. But 2 hours later, me and Anthony were on the floor talking and laughing and giggling and talking about politics. And I enjoyed that night in the cell. And by the way, on a lighter note, one of my cellmates said that night, she says, hey, Mr. Nawa, I've never heard you speak such English like you have spoken tonight.
Right. Now we need to be very clear, Mr. Nawa, that what happened to you is actually illegal.
There is no question about it. It is illegal. It is unhuman.
Yeah.
It is evil, and it is condemned with all intents and purpose and all legal peripherals and parameters. It is absolutely illegal.
Now, you as presidential advisor to Mr. Hichilema, there is a very good chance that you gentlemen can form government in August. Do you agree?
Absolutely, 100%.
Promise me that this nonsense is not going to happen in August.
After August.
After August.
I had a conversation yesterday with President Hakainde Hichilema, and he said to me, Muvita, let's work together as teams. Let's strengthen one another. President Hakainde is a very sober man, very, very thorough, sober man, who does not like violence. He does not like marginalization. He does not like division. And he absolutely does not like violation of the rule of law. I can guarantee you, with my tippy toe or something, that Zambia will be in better hands under Hakainde Hichilema. He cannot tolerate such. He is always insisting on teamwork, unity, love, legality, There are times right now in my position, he literally pulls me to the side and said, no, 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 Mubita, no, 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 no. You can't go that way. Right now.
Right.
Now that's the kind of leader who works with the conscience. And that's what Zambia deserves.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Nawa, for having joined us today. We really, really appreciate seeing you. We missed you. And through this way, we just wanted you to know that we care about each and every Zambian. And so in a sense, you have become a symbol, one of the symbols of the struggle. So are your friends. So are several other people that have been illegally detained. And so we thank you that God is using you. Now, this is a very controversial theological statement, but I try to steer away from theology usually when I'm dealing with this. But may God use you to show that something better can be done for our country.
Thank you very much. I'm truly humbled, and those are profound words. And I say to all Zambians, let us unite, let us work together, let us create the future we want. And thank you to everyone for all the love and hard work.
There are several people that have joined us in the studio. What I'll do is I'll bring them all online. And what we'll do is we are going to, I just want you to see them, say hello to them, maybe allow one person to I left out anyone who is in the studio. Let me see. I think so.
Yeah, I think let's pick one. Pick one person, Muvita, before you go. For me, I speak to you every day, so I just want to say, continue fighting for Zambia. We have a job to rebuild, reunite, and rebuild our country. So you've got a big task. So Munsha, can you pick one person to try and comment or ask a question, please? Because I know you've got another program coming through.
Yes, please. So this is very difficult because all these are my friends. So we have Herbert, we have Jerome Kanika, our resident pharmacist, and then we have JR. Now, gentlemen, please, who is going to ask a question to Mr. Nawa?
Herbert, go for it.
Hey, how are you? Hi, Herbert, how are you?
Okay. I'm very fine. Good to see you out, my brother.
Thank you. It's good to be out.
Okay. So, what plans do you have that we can put on the grounds to see to it that we scoop the 12th of these forthcoming elections?
That's a good question. What plans do we have on the ground to ensure that we win the August 12th election? Obviously, some of the work started before now. Some of the work started 5 years ago, some of it 10 years ago. But there's a lot of groundwork. Our nominations are done, our adoptions are done, our candidates are selected. There might be one or two that we're not happy that is normal in any organization. We obviously have to continue to work through the structures and strengthen the team. But there are other things I cannot even talk about that involve perhaps the securing of the vote for the August 12th, because that is going to be cardinal. When you look at what happened at Murungushi on Wednesday, when the president and the vice president were filing in the paper, that kind of multitude is what we expect at every one of the 7,900 polling stations on August 12th. So we need to strengthen those. We need to make sure that there is no one who stays home, and also there is no one who rushes back home after they vote on August 12th, because that security at the polling station is going to be very paramount. So for now, Zambians are ready for change, and when a fruit is ready, you either harvest it or it falls on its own.
Right. Thank you very much. And so we are very excited to have had Mr. Mubita Nawa here, who told us a little bit about his experiences in police health. I know that we're going to have him come back at a later stage. We wish you all the best, my brother, and your party. the United Party for National Development, while Mr. Norman Chipakupaku is a registered full member of the UPND, I am extremely independent. But of course, as a program, we have endorsed Mr. Hakainde Hichilema because we believe that that's a team that is going to bring development back to our country. Thank you for joining us. And so we are going to transition into a different program right now, but thank you very much for coming tonight.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, 1 hour, we want to bring HH one of these days before the 12th. So you and I will make sure that we bring him on Bakwet very, very soon. Can you promise me that?
I promise I'll bring the president on this show. I promise you.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you very much and good night. We are going to transition into
good night from Scotland. Good night.
Thank you.